Welcome to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and what we have this time is the Yoshimitsu Aogami Super Gyuto 240mm knife. And this knife is a very interesting knife. I'll talk more about it, but it's a pretty cool blade. This is a 3-layer construction on this. You've got a harder core steel, the cutting steel of Aogami Blue Paper Super Reactive High Carbon Steel. Heat treats approximately 62, maybe 63 Rockwell on that core steel. On either side of that core steel, you've got a soft iron reactive cladding. I've been using this one, so you'll start to see some reactivity here. But you've got a soft iron cladding, and then which is reactive as well. And then you've got a Kuta Uchi or blacksmith finish, protective finish on top of that. So this is an all-reactive knife. It's fairly rustic. It's got a lot of character to it, but it's got great bones. It kind of looks like, oh man, this is a little, but man, when you start using this is a great knife. So you got to use them. So I did take this time to play with this one. So it's a interesting knife. We'll talk more about it. So this one is about 165 grams or 5.6 ounces. The weight and dimensions on these can vary a little bit from knife to knife. Edge length around 243 millimeters or 9.5 inches. Overall length about 385 millimeters or 15.2 inches. Spine thickness is going to vary, but this one's about 3.2 coming out of the handle. And then about halfway down, it's about 2.6. And then it starts to thin out a little bit more and thin out a little bit more. And it does kind of gradually just have a little bit of a taper. Come on, camera. A little bit of a taper, and then you get down towards the tip where the grind is. And the tip is really quite thin, and it performs very well. Height is about 50.8, a little under 51 millimeters. Handles, nothing fancy. It's a octagonal ambidextrous walnut with a black packerwood ferrule. Nice fit and finish, smooth on the handle, pretty standard style handle. You've got, the handle's kind of average size, about 75 millimeter circumference right here where the wood meets the ferrule. You've got a spot for your finger there, and it's not, it's a pretty tall handle, so you can see, or pretty tall knife, so you got lots of clearance there. This knife has a lot of kind of rustic character to it. It definitely looks handmade, totally. This is no factory production knife. You can see that. So there's a couple of effects on it. You've got some embossed, stamped-in kanji on the left side of the blade as you're going to hold it. And you can see I've been using it, the cladding, the soft iron cladding definitely has a patina going on it. A lot of onion, so it's not super blue and all cool looking, but. And then the right side of the blade has a little stamped in kanji as well. You've got a fairly smooth Kuta Uchi finish on this. It's not like super textured. Kind of almost a concave effect here too. From where the grind kicks in right here, you've got a little bit of a concave effect, a hammered effect between there. That helps food separation quite a bit. The spine looks like it's exposed, I think, over the top, but it's all reactive anyway, so it's not a big deal. They've actually got a little bit of relief on the right side of the blade, so if you're a righty, great. If you're a lefty like me, they didn't do much to this left side, so it's a little bit rough. If I was going to keep this and I'm a lefty, I definitely would get a file of that or sandpaper and clean that up a little bit. The spine, they've relieved a little bit of the spine. It doesn't have, like a ton of that super refined finish work, but what they did do is they did a really straight blade. They've got great grinds on this thing, and it thins out really nicely towards the edge. The performance on this is simply outstanding. It's just a beautifully, like I said, it's got great bones. Edge was maybe 6 out of 10. The profile on this is a little bit rough as well. You've got a little bit of a bump right here, a high spot, which is easy to take out. But this profile could probably be cleaned up just a little bit for a little smoother board kind of feel. But like I said, I'm very impressed with the performance and feel of this knife on the cutting board. It's really well done. So it shines where it counts. So here's your profile. There's a little bit of a hiccup right here where you've got it right there. You can kind of see that rocking motion. There's a little bit of a high spot there I would take down. This profile is close enough where you wouldn't have to do too much to take it down and kind of clean it up a little bit. But so kind of that's going to be a little tough. But if you did that, you get a little more flat spot towards the back. You can see you've got a gentle belly all the way towards the tip. I can get in that range there as far as height goes. So pretty good all-around profile. This is a knife that personally I could easily take, put maybe a little bit upgraded handle on it if you wanted to spiff it up a little bit, maybe polish the spine a little, definitely kind of work on the choil a little bit, and you've got a knife that's just simply outstanding. So it's it's very kind of rustic. It's got a lot of character to it, but the performance is way, way there. So this is the Yoshimitsu Aogami Super Gyuto 240mm knife.